ahead and call the meeting to order. Go ahead and take the roll.
I'm gonna see if it came on first here.
Oh, sorry. That was they're out on the table.
We have Joe Dunn, Lisa Gausman,
Here.
Tim Hunter,
Here.
Gary Lunsford, and David Wade.
City is not going to be here.
Okay.
Okay. So, you guys have a chance to look at the minutes that were sent to you. Approval of the last minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as reported.
Any second?
I'll second
All in favor?
that. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. We have nothing listed in our old business. So let's start with new business. And the tree trimming. Okay.
How are you?
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm Dallas Meyer, so I was kind of brought in to look at everything and assess what needs done. So I have a PowerPoint. I was told we can't use that. If anybody wants to get around, we can go through it. There's 10 plus slides. That's about it. It's pretty fast, but
Oh, why can't we not?
I could come to you however you want to do it.
I do not know how to do it. I'll be honest. I've never done that part of this system.
Okay. Yeah.
So just starting off here, this is right in the kids' playground. And we try to make it fun for everybody who goes up there and can see it. But if you can find the difference, I'm not going to waste your time on it. But if you can see, there's a little girl here, and she's on the monkey bars, and it's correcting all the weeds, getting the weeds out of the ground. So that is one of the big hazards. But there's hazards like this all over the park. So in 23, we went through and had this spot. So we went through everything. And since then, it's been budgeting issues to get back in to clean it up. But I was tasked to manage and take care of all this. So here's some more just dead tops. And every year there's a certain amount of buyback, right? So we need to have something, I would say, in the budget to allow us in every spring and fall to manage to make sure that there isn't a hazard that is going to hurt somebody. So as we continue, some more, anything that's 2 inches or larger that comes out 20 foot is a potential hazard. So a lot of these are a lot bigger and they're up in the 90-foot range. So now these are like a lot of the trees that need to come down. There's another 4 trees in there that should go. They were on the watch list. We were hoping that they would come back and we can manage them, but they just keep going off. Big cracks are exposed now. This one's right at the entrance here. This hole that you see where that squirrel got is 5, 6 foot hole inside of that tree's hollow. And that bad part about that tree is it's 2 big leaves that go up, and they're pretty big. So,
Which tree are you talking about?
you know where the archway is when you come in right in the main entrance center? They're all on the ground.
They're showing that those 5 or 6 feet wide.
If you look in there, I can get a camera and you can look at it.
Trees don't have that 6 feet.
But yeah, that's fine. I mean, we can all get on it if you want. As far as circumference goes. But anyway, if we look, keep going, here's a walking trail. This some more going across. Again, all dead, grass, trail, grass.
You're on the dirt trails, you're off the paved trail.
Yeah.
That's 3
Yeah, so walking trail 2, and now we're on 3. I didn't put up the pictures. I just kind of put some of the big ones in here for you guys to kind of get some visuals.
This has been an ongoing battle for 30 years in there.
I believe.
And there's no end in sight. You know, literally gigantic branch fell in front of my 4 yards in front of my son last week, riding in there, and about 12 feet in front of a family walking in. I'm saying to myself, oh, really? The park should be trimming all these and keeping things from falling. It's a nature area. So trails are maintained the best they can be maintained. It's a nature area. Go in there and go up every tree 40 feet in the air and try to put heavy equipment in there. Ruins the nature area. So that's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, and I can see, parts of that, but, if there's something that you could do to potentially keep somebody from getting hurt, I would say it would be in the benefit.
I feel you on that one, but Brown County, Muscatatuck versus Sales, none of the other trails have trails like that do any kind of maintenance to their trails.
Okay. Yeah,
Because they can't get to it.
I was just asking you around to find the problems that potentially hurt somebody. So that's what I'm here for.
You're asked.
Well, I was asking my mom earlier, if I got an email to figure out.
After the fact,
Yeah, so we
from
some of it.
Lincoln's. Because as I was walking out there, things that he was looking at. So that's, and he was also the guy that did
So, walking trail 4, you got some more bad problems. Again, this is just 5 pictures in compared to 8 pictures just on the trail. But these are the ones that are, we could do something about this pretty fast. And we're making road safety. So, we want to help you guys, maintain this the best we can. So whatever we need to do, just let me know. I can only find the problems if there's any,
So, like, let's say there's trees and bruns back deep in trail 4. Are you talking about bringing in equipment and going up and tearing all that out to try to trim it back? Because right now we want to preserve the entire area.
I completely get it. I wasn't even gonna remove anything, so the game plan was to not to drop any potential cancer, et cetera. Like, you have trees that are dead and then they'll cross into another tree, so as soon, everybody's walking home. As soon as the power breaks out, it smashes somebody. I can easily cut that tree, shove it off to the side to where nature still degrades it out, and the only thing I would take in there is, maybe one of our lifts for some of the ones that are hung up, and it's a track machine, 6,000 pounds. I can even board it in to where it never even touches the ground.
My family, I've been maintaining these trails for 30 years now. And that would be so far beyond anything we've ever done in the past 30 years in doing that.
Yeah, here's my thing. Today we had a tree come down, and I would almost guarantee you would say that tree was not in danger. Because there was no way you would have been able to tell. That tree came down at 2:30 to 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon when there was no wind, lightning, rain, nothing. It just broke off. There was no possible way that tree looked perfect. There was nothing wrong with that tree, but it was rotting down the middle. It's going to happen. It doesn't always happen during storms. Most of your problem in Broome was when we see a tree that's going to lean and fall onto the trail, we take care of it. We try to get something there to take care of it. When a tree's leaning and it's going to fall in the woods, who gives a shit? It's not going to hurt anybody. It's not on the trail. We cannot go in there. It's too wet to do anything. So this is an example of a great big oak tree that came down about a month ago. The oak tree was perfectly fine. The leaves were perfect, but the place is wet. they uproot and come down. So if you trim every tree in there, it's not gonna matter. They're still gonna uproot because it lays wet all the time. So I don't think trimming, and this is some of the stuff at Liberty Park that I didn't like. I went to one tree class, and the first thing they told us, the last thing, and 100 times between is don't top trees. So like this one was from Liberty Park that you guys topped, and now the tree's dead and we'll have to take it down. I mean, we paid to have it trimmed, now we're gonna have to take it down.
So we can go back, to not to, but that tree was one that we said that we should take down. Due to budget concern, we were just gonna take the top out of it. And see if
My
it
point is, we paid to have it trimmed, and now we're gonna pay to remove it. That's my problem.
Well, you didn't have it in the budget. Like there was a budget that was allotted, and there was so much work to do. I can only do so much.
This is a tree that was totally missed. This is at Liberty Park. This was by the baseball field. This tree was not touched, and it's rotten as can be, and it fell over. You're not gonna get every tree. This tree was topped here, and this great big one fell off. We were told we wouldn't have anything down here. That didn't happen. This is another one that's topped on a maple. You never top a maple tree. Now it's said we have to take down.
That was the same scenario. That was a dead, that tree was dying, but we didn't have it in the budget, and they didn't want to take all those trees down.
But why trim it? Why top it?
Because it's gonna be dead top, so it's gonna keep falling out. So
At least
this is
why not
why
cut them at an angle so the water doesn't get down to the rock?
I
And then this is another one that was on the trail this morning. Again, perfectly good tree, that big and round, it was 50 foot off the trail. It uprooted and fell a little bit onto the trail. That's what happens. I mean,
You're also talking about 2 years later. We did this in 23, and then we're getting some dieback 2 years later, and some problems, but I have not.
like, what about this one?
Again, just like you said earlier, that was a tree
That was dead 2 years ago.
was perfectly fine.
Now, you're gonna tell me that all that rot happened in the last 2 years? There's absolutely no possible
Well,
way.
you just told me that there was a tree that looked perfectly fine at the time. So
No,
there's
we
trees,
have to take it out.
there's trees that.
Because
look
it was
bad.
topped.
That
This
look bad.
tree was like this 2 years ago. It was like this 10 years ago. But it was totally missed, right next to where people sit for a baseball field. But my big thing in Bromwoods is, number one, we're gonna have the trail resealed on Monday. And now we're gonna possibly get our trees trimmed and run equipment over a sealed trail.
Everybody's saying this needs to be done.
Yeah,
But there are, Mike, there are trees leaning into other trees there, but. the whole-
Anytime we see a dangerous tree, we take it down.
Still out.
Okay, but here's my biggest problem with the whole thing, like, really, we did not even get bids for this. We paid $60,000 to have this done. And I had all kinds of calls from local tree trimmers saying, what the hell did you get us to bid? I said, I didn't have anything to do with it. Nothing against you, but why aren't we giving local guys a chance to do this?
I wasn't involved in this, but I do know that when we call local people, they don't call back.
I am also a local person.
Where'd your truck plates say Ohio? When a local tree trimmer goes by the park and sees Ohio plates, that doesn't register as local.
Some of them do. And so we just so you know, we just recently moved, and I feel like this has turned from a, looking at this tree to attack on my company. So I think you must know, we just moved, okay? We lived in Harrison. We moved to Summit, Indiana, 2 years ago. And we're in the process of switching everything over, but I don't know if you've ever owned a business or done anything with business, but it doesn't just all happen overnight.
And it's not a tax on your business.
Sure sounds like.
It's why didn't we go out and get training?
And again, I can't say, I don't know. I don't know what they.
I had 2 or 3 tree trimmers call me and they did not get called.
Well, I do know.
They're
for a
saying,
fact
why
that
didn't we get a call?
Casey reached out to people that never got back with him. I showed up, I gave a bid, and I come and did it. So if you don't think that I did quality work, again, this is going back to my opinion, this is like a personal attack on me now.
Okay.
It's not a personal attack, like, I'm here to present about this, and I'm just saying there were things
My
like.
trust in Ohio police.
Okay, so the question that I have is, like you kept saying about, you could do so much, but it wasn't in the budget, so what are we proposing here?
We haven't proposed anything
Like
yet.
what's in a, like what kind of
I
budget?
asked them to look at it, and then when we get some numbers.
I guess for me, I feel a little blindsided because I didn't know, like, I would have liked to, before this meeting, and know that he was coming, be presented with something, so I knew what, that was even happening, and that was even an issue, right? I'm kind of at a loss of what I want to say right now as president,
Now we know that it's an issue. But
you know what I mean, like,
Well, I think it is, it's definitely a concern, and if you're in Liberty Park, and especially by the playground, so there's a difference in how important it is to take a tree down that's out in the Rum Woods on one of the back trails versus
nobody
one
else
that's,
agrees with that.
yeah, so I think that having a plan for removing trees and a plan for replanting trees so that we continue, because I think that's one of the nice things about the park is all the mature trees. And I think Mike has worked hard to try to continue to add, and so that we can maintain that. But I do think that there maybe needs to be a line item in the budget so that we can, and that we can go through and say, these are the worst shape, the most, highest risk, and in areas that are, the most people, because even like Lena's Loop, there are a lot of people that use that, most of the people that go out on the dirt trails are going into nature intentionally. There are a lot of people just out for a walk that decide to cruise through Lena's Loop. So I think that prioritizing what trees that we think are unsafe and need to be removed, that's an important thing that we should take on.
right.
Let's step back for a second with regards to the whole drum section and revisit the fact that when that was left to the city, then the will stipulated it was to remain a natural area. The fact that we put trails in was part of the will also, because the will also stipulated it be used for the good of the entire city. So the only way the city could enjoy it was we put the trails in. We want it to remain a natural area. Otherwise, it would just be a free for all. Everybody can cut the trails anywhere they want, do whatever they want, knock down whatever they want. Letting trees fall where they may, so to speak, for lack of a better term, is part of that natural area and the natural progression of the land itself, letting nature reclaim itself. Going in and purposely trimming and pruning trees back anywhere, even the ones that hang out over the trail, it provides that canopy over the trail that people want for the natural experience as far as wildlife and everything else in there. So, going in and trimming things over and over again, if we get in the habit of doing that, the next thing, the woods and drums will be as open as they are in Liberty Park, which defeats the entire purpose of it. So,
I do agree with Tim, like prioritizing
Well, the other thing, we have
liberty and
from a
the
budget,
patriot.
from a budget position, you're not gonna be able to budget enough money to do.
to me, that should come out of, we should have some kind of general maintenance fund, and anytime we need to work that down, it should just be pulled from the general maintenance fund.
I believe the first trimming was from the park funds.
The first thing,
And I'm not, again, I think Liberty Park needs tree maintenance, but I don't think it had tree maintenance for 50 years, so we were behind.
That's
I'm
the
not
thing,
saying.
you can't catch up in 1 year.
You can't catch up in 1 year, and I don't think we needed yearly. I think, every 5 years would be enough to come in, if it's done. I don't think every year we need to come in and do it. Yeah, it needs done, but it hadn't been done for forever. It's just like when I started, trees were planted forever. It took us a long time to catch up, and now we're finally caught up.
budget meetings, but
So that's what we can look at it as line item in the budget. Okay. So, just because I'm not up to par on how much something like that would cost, let's say that it was just, if we were just looking at Liberty Park, and you needed to, and we wanted to get some maintenance done on trees, or what would be a budget? general,
Again, it just depends, like, if you wanna do everything that I'm looking at.
yeah, can you give me like from here to here? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it
just,
could be
just,
anywhere from
just
a week.
don't think
to
about, I
2
don't wanna
weeks or
do
whatever,
like the
but-
Bruns trails, I'm thinking Liberty Park and maybe the
We-
walk, the paved path, like our paved path in Liberty, like, let's just look at that. What would be in
Yeah, I mean,
ballpark?
You could be anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, depending on what trees have to come
Okay.
down and stuff to finish work.
Which would, can you just give me a ballpark?
Not really, we're gonna do bids.
Oh,
Rather
okay.
not,
Yeah,
if we're
makes
gonna bid
sense.
it out, that's fine, just let everybody
Yeah.
bid it.
Makes sense. Okay.
But then it gets to the bidding process, how do you bid? You could say, this needs this, this is, not a company said this, you know, you're not bidding apples to apples. You know what I mean?
Well,
Unless we go through and say, this is exactly what we want.
That's what I was gonna mention, if you had like 10,
it's
20
always a
things
variable,
in your
right?
head, like, you need this one, you need that
Yeah.
one.
Just like when
But I
Hurricane
mean, a
Ike
lot of
came
times
through,
you
it
won't
changed
know
everything.
until you're up, I mean, I can go 40 foot to live, that's all I can go. I mean, we have trees 80, 90, 100 feet high. You don't know what's dead or what's up there until you get up in the tree. And that's gonna be the hard part to actually, you know.
Now, here's the other problem too, everybody's climbing, a lot of companies have climbers, right? It's a big liability,
Mm-hmm.
where we get this and everybody's tied off, we can go 90 foot safe. Nobody out there has the same equipment we have, that's why we did the work and did some things, so. Just something like that.
I don't know how you would set that up for bid, I mean, 'cause like I said, the landscape changes constantly. We get remnants of a hurricane come through and we've got a train wreck to clean up. Or we have a good year and we have very little. Varies from year to year, season to season.
Right, I mean, maybe it's a third party, forestry person from Purdue or something that goes around with Mike and marks the 20 worst trees around that you're concerned about or something, and then
I don't even think it's the trees as much as the limbs. You know, that's what
Mhm.
we're worried about, is more the dead limbs. And there were a lot of them. I mean, you know, they came down over the last 50 years. And they came down, so yeah, they need to be cut out. You know, the bad, yeah, we can talk about the bad trees, but, you know, until you get up there and see what's maybe waiting to go up, there's a rock limb in there to cut. You know, once you get there.
Again, unpredictable, Connor grabbed the limb off that fell in front of that family last week, said everything in front of the green, the tree.
That big oak tree that went down was perfectly, probably one of the nicest trees in Brumwell, and it held.
Yeah.
Nothing was wrong with it, other than it lays wet in Brumwell, so it's, you don't know.
Correct. Which is why we can try like control
Okay.
the damage.
So what it sounds like is we need to, we're gonna need to talk and have some kind of a process.
Yeah.
But definitely thank you for coming in and bringing things to our attention. And we'll just have to come up with a process, and when the budget meeting comes next, we'll figure that out, and then take the next steps.
Okay.
Thank you for getting all those pictures prepared. And,
I mean, if you only have so much money to put $40,000 in the budget, you get $40,000 for a tree. You do the worst,
Mhm.
dangerous, most dangerous trees for the 40,000, you know, if you had it in the budget.
Okay. Alright, any discussion? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next we have, because I put my glasses on just to see what our next agenda is. Yeah, e-bikes, bikes on trails, discussion. That probably would be a way to get to, because I know that you have a lot of experience with bikes.
So,
Gary, right?
yeah, so I mean, I can speak to this one pretty good. I think David posted, or sent an email back to all of us with regards to this also. And I'm in agreement with him on that. And basically the class 2 bikes that we currently have, I think operate without pedal assist. Pretty much every city, municipality, every county, ordinance out there doesn't allow those on any kind of bike trails. They limit it to the bikes with pedal assist and 20-mile speed dirt trails, mixed bag on that one, just from what you go out and look at. depending on state versus national parks and county parks. Everybody has a different rule that varies from state to state. Um, the one common denominator across all of them is the class 3 bikes are limited to very specific trails, or not at all, because of the fact they do have the power based on a small motorcycle that cause a lot of damage. The others are considered more of a way to egress the trails for people that may have disabilities that couldn't run very long trails. So therefore, more and more moving towards the class 4.
I don't know if I can address this issue with Gary, but my wife's bike
I know
is, she's,
her and her bike is not considered a class 3 because it doesn't do 28 miles an hour. Are you sure? I thought that was.
I never won
Yeah.
that whenever I've ridden it, I've never.
With all that stated, John,
My point.
I know your wife would never take it.
Well, I'm just bringing this up because I think it's a real issue.
It
If
is.
you have a 60 or 65 or 70-year-old person online, you're not gonna do like the kids on the scooters that
I agree.
go racing through there. So, you know, I'm just bringing that up. But
You can write
I-
the ordinance however you want to do it. You'll never be able to police see it.
well,
That's the therein lies, and that is the underlying thing for everybody dealing with this across the U.S. right now, and how to deal with it from a law standpoint, and how to put ordinances in place. There's no way to police it. You can buy a class 1 bike and you can buy a kit for it for $20 off Amazon, and it'll do 35 miles an hour. They're easily modified, easily changed, and there's really no way to police it. So your laws and ordinances for it become more recommendations.
And I mean, it sounds like you want to say something not just e-bikes, but like just miles per hour. Like, you know what I mean? Like scooters, there are some scooters that are crazy fast too. You know, people that ride
Exactly.
the one-wheelers and you know, I mean,
I guess all I would
yeah, like some kind of miles per hour.
Yeah,
My
so,
question was like, Nancy,
Mhm.
this, because there is a lot of older people involved.
Mm-hmm.
kids.
A lot of little kids
I
on
mean,
it.
Little kids on bikes.
I would hate to say no bikes on this loop because, you know, you're trying to teach your 4-year-old how to ride. But,
no, I
and everybody, you know, they're supposed to say, oh, on your left, on your right. That doesn't work if everybody got earbuds. If they have earbuds, they're too old to wear them, and they can't hear anything. So it just doesn't.
and therein lies another pet peeve of mine.
Can we do some miles per hour type thing? Like,
Well,
so you can still say that the little kids that you're trying to teach, or you have small kids on bikes, so you're not saying no bikes, but.
Bikes are allowed, children accompanied by, you know, because, yeah, there are a lot of scooters that sit around there, a lot of e-bikes, a lot of regular bikes.
Kids training vehicles.
Yes.
and with all that considered, and speaking firsthand experience, it is impossible to ride the entire lane loop at 20 miles an hour. Can't be done.
But you can, you might wreck.
You'll crash. It's a guarantee you'll crash. It can't be. The turns are too tight.
Mhm.
The turns work great as checkpoints to kind of check people.
You can go 30 mile an hour down the straightaway and slow down for the turn.
You could.
Mhm.
And you're gonna pass
You could.
line.
Right, flying by.
Yeah, it's the only way you could do it. You couldn't manage a consistent speed. So it would be the recommendation, or my recommendation, that we just limit it to class 1, class 2s, and like John in Jan's case, it's like she knows the rules. She knows how to ride it at basically a reduced rate of like a class 1 or class 2. And I would, for now, limit it to class.
Maybe people, if we do have an ordinance, people may assume.
Now,
I think that's probably the biggest benefit of having it. but nevertheless.
So it eliminates discouraging scooters if you just doing an ordinance for class 1, class 2, 5.
Yeah, and
That's why
honestly,
I'm thinking if you did something about miles per hour, then I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to do that, but
they don't even have speed on them.
Yes,
So I'm gonna be on the scooters.
I don't know.
They just fly. And that's just an issue.
I like the other trail.
And motorized scooters. I mean, I don't know. I really do.
Yeah,
That's
Like-
kind of
like-
all we
That's why I didn't
Christmas.
Yeah.
keep it up.
unless the company
So what would be
I agree. I don't think so.
another park that has already done some type of ordinance? Can we look that up?
I'm
Like
sure you can
of something that
find out,
they've written up?
but again, I think it's probably a good idea.
What other methods you got including? What I read the other day was carnival.
We're not talking about eliminating
Yeah, we're just
You
talking.
can go from down.
those. We're talking about Lena's Loop, just Lena's Loop.
I mean, you could start downtown across the railroad tracks, and there's a bike lane. Cross 229.
Then you have to go through the neighborhood. You'd have to go through the neighborhood to get. I still think it ended up making Luna's Loop safer. I mean, they would have to go around to make it safer. They're just going too fast. People are going too fast, and there's like elderly walking and
Motorized scooters.
motorized scooters and bikes.
And I was gonna say, and people walking, I've jumped one through there, like even just jogging through, and people are walking 2 or 3 abreast. You know, like people aren't looking out for people, you know.
They're not
so
expecting
it's
a
not, I mean, everybody has a
motorized
little bit
bike.
of responsibility.
Like I said, we did put a sign, stay on your weapon.
Yeah, we did. We did put that on.
So, yeah, so I was at a meeting a couple of weeks ago for the Cincinnati Authorities. This was brought up in regards to their trip show in Cincinnati parks. And it kind of came around back to the fact that it wasn't the e-bikes so much as it was part of the problem, but part of the problem was people with lack of attention to what's going on because of earbuds and not hearing other people coming along. There were riders at that meeting complaining and said, I've got a bell on my bike, a horn on my bike while I ride, and I still can't get the attention of people that are coming past. Yeah, so it's, because I guess city of Cincinnati has kind of had this discussion issue.
And
I-
like,
It's 8 from the houses. It's 8 from my house. It goes to 10.
But inside,
Lena's Loop is about.
It's not.
It's not one
It's
bad.
either 8 or 10. Because that was a very hard.
That's too. You can just stay right except to pass.
But we have the sign. I
You
mean,
know, the sign up that
just
says.
and I didn't think about what you're saying,
put up some,
coming from, yeah,
please use caution, passing, reduce speed signs.
Yeah.
Use reduced speeds.
Reduce
they
speed.
could do what they used to
And maybe that's the best option.
Probably.
Yeah.
Try to make people aware.
Just make people aware. Reduce speed.
You could just, limit
Reduce.
class 1, 2, and then if it becomes a problem,
Yeah.
then we have just class 1, 2.
So I
But
would.
then how does that work with scooters?
That's what I'm saying.
So the difference between e-bikes and scooters has to have a pedal. It has to be, even if the e-bikes that are able to go without pedals, without you actually pedaling to make it go.
Yeah, I get that, but what about the scooters?
What about the scooters that go fast? That's what I'm
Yes,
saying. How do you put that in the
Because
ordinance?
you're right, those are people, I mean, there was some guy doing door-to-door sales through our neighborhood today on one of those little one wheels,
Mhm.
and like, he had to have been doing 30 miles an hour.
There's a guy that goes by my house with one wheel with a little kid.
Little girl and
Yeah.
He's going 25 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
He's got a little kid on.
Now, to his credit, I have seen him doing that on the dirt in Bronx Woods on that one with his kid. How they have died yet, I don't know.
I've heard. Well, how
Do
about?
we want to address scooters separately?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I know actually downtown, they're not supposed to be on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Kids
Correct.
racing across the
And
sidewalk.
Yeah.
And that, so we probably had to, let's reconvene on that and do a little research,
on
because like the
some.
Bird and the Razor scooters and see how the other municipalities are handling. But I do know that when you rent those, like bigger cities, are required to be on the street, not on the sidewalk.
Not on the sidewalk.
Park them on the sidewalk when they get off, I think they're not supposed to be parked on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So how about we do a little bit of research of what some other places that have different pay trails and things, what kind of what they've done to help with this issue, and we bring it back to the table. Okay.
As far as the dirt trails.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next on the agenda was the fitness park. Yes, we got the. I wanted to bring this up again just because we have the money that we got from. My mind's blank right now. Thank you. From Louisville County Community Foundation. That I know that we they need to see progress, otherwise we're going to lose that. And I know we've been trying to. So anyways, so just trying to figure out what us as a group can do as next steps. I know that I looked into different companies and equipment, and I know Mike has suggested, why can't I think of his name right now? I don't know. Sorry, my mind is blank right now. Walsman, like checking with him, but his is more like not really fitness equipment.
Playground, bro.
Yeah.
That's who they get it from. And the hard part is to get bids on it, because the grant, you have to have.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. It's not a lot of people that do it.
Right.
So I do have a mentor coming, actually starting tomorrow, and he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Like seven.
Right. As he
So
said,
he's
like the
gonna
only.
start on the process of him, and
Mhm.
the hard part is just getting. Yeah, even if we would go to Alterra and ask for a little bit of money, would that be progress enough to keep the 5,000?
I think so, and if we wanted to use, let them know that.
5,000 is not going to go
Right.
far at all, but we get.
But at least we just showing progress. That, okay, so we have the concrete pad down, or we have this much done, or we.
Yeah, like Jordan buys from or vice versa. So we have
Mhm.
They're selling the same product. It's hard to get. It's hard to get people to do it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that do it. He will be.
Okay. And it was, who was it? Because Landon or Raver? Yeah. Okay. All right. Because I have like the one. I mean, it's out of California, but they send it off here, and you can assemble it for less without sending them
I
that.
think the best way to do it would be statements. It's going to be inexpensive.
Yeah.
If we could just get, if we could pull playground and put 1/3 of it in, and then
Mhm.
put signs up saying, "Hey, we're taking donations."
Right.
And there's a lot of people that have been
Mhm.
donating.
Yeah.
Hey, this is phase 2. We want to get this. It's just, I think once it's in and we'll see it being used and want to expand on it, I think that would be fine.
Yeah. I think. Okay. All right. So. And I can talk to Lane about the research I've done already too, to kind of get him on the right track. Okay. Anybody have any other discussion on that?
John, backing up one notch, I know Angela's got a bunch of interns this semester. Yeah, could we borrow one to have them pull data for the e-bike stuff? I can get with them to have that done. It would spare us some time. That would be a nice
So next I know that we wanted to get an update on the pump track and bouldering wall, and I asked Amy to come in.
I see.
She had the best answers and all the correct answers for all the questions that we might have. If you don't mind, hop up and be able to use the microphone. That would be great.
Amy.
Amy.
So the bouldering wall EP climbing is estimated to deliver on October 6th. And then, so they sent an update. It's a little bit, they said October and then they said maybe August and then they said October. Because they had a lot, and like right before school started, things they couldn't finish. So, Kurt Hamburger is gonna pour the concrete on end of September, he said, so once this is at least a week. So sometime before that, I need to put the flags out, so maybe I'll talk to you about when you're going, whenever it's back, but so we can put the concrete down. And then, so that's it for the bouldering wall, then, well, once that's poured, yeah,
Once,
I think it's, yeah, I think it's like that day. And then we have like 3 days to make sure there's nothing wrong. Get like a film or something, so that we make sure we check it out. And then after that's set, then we have to pour in the surround the mulch. Like fiber mulch. And that's it for the bouldering wall.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah,
about the
so
bouldering wall?
what's the timeline for completion?
October 6th. Well,
October 6th.
oh, and then,
October 6th.
October sixth, I couldn't hear you.
yeah, and then we'll just have to put the, we have to wait to put the wood fiber until after that. I don't know exactly when I can deliver yet.
So it's not gonna have a big,
That was one of the options, but that wasn't the one we thought we were gonna do because it was so much more expensive.
is there like a fall height requirement on the playground so that meets?
Correct.
Is there any risk of this not being completed inside the year?
No, it's, like I sent pictures, it's almost done. They just have to deliver it and then,
Can you share that, send it to Lisa so she can see that? Board members so you can see the progress on it?
yeah. Well, it's just like one picture.
Because the funding for that, if I'm not mistaken, goes away if it's not completed by the end of the year.
Well, we have to pay, when we pay for it. So we have to spend the money by the end of the year. I talked to Paul, and so we will spend all the way out of that account first, before we have one other, like $10,000 account. We'll get the ARPA fund one all the way out before we take out the other one.
That's what I wanted to hear. That was the answer I was looking for.
Okay. Anything else on the bouldering wall?
Wait,
Okay, and then the pump track?
pump track. So there's a few issues on the pump track. There's one place that's kind of difficult. So you start like up high on the southwest corner and you do the loop. When you come back to the east side, there's a part that's a little bit difficult to go over. So there's an idea of making an extra little axle piece, so you could bypass that part. This was Jim's idea. So that was one issue. Another issue is that there's a lot of holes in the asphalt, not a lot, there are some holes in the asphalt now. We first contacted Dave from Dirt Salt who did this, and he pretty much is not gonna fix it. I mean, he said that, I'll come in this date, I'll come in this date, he never comes over. So we looked in the contract, we talked to the lawyer, see if there's like, can we make him come? Not gonna happen. So we got a bid on to fix this, so fixing the asphalt, and then also because the mowing is difficult, so it's pretty steep on the edge, steeper than it should be, and there's erosion and it can't be mowed. So Kim asked Lysing, we got several bids, but I wasn't pressed with licensing, and they gave us a bid of $23,000 to do this. So we still have our person who does our, grant writing, so that we get jobs in October for the grants and the emergency grant, which helped us out before. So we're gonna apply for grants to fix that. But we can't, it's not till October, so we're gonna apply then, and then if we get some money, then as soon as we get that, we'll finish that project.
And then she says Jim, it's Jim Mormon.
Yeah,
Didn't know if you guys knew who
Yeah.
Jim was.
Yeah, I'm following on the play at home version here. Jim's, he was mentioning back and forth with the nurses as well. So yeah, the idea of putting a compacted line now.
Yeah, so that was the other thing, the center, there's 3 circles that are completely surrounded that are very hard to get to, or impossible to get to with the mower. So the idea of, licensing was to put compact line in the middle. I don't know how everyone feels about that, there are other ideas of wildflowers and, creeping red thyme. I think the middle is probably, has options, you know, we have options, but I think the big deal is that outside is steep and can't be mowed.
Yeah, what's causing the erosion because it's steep is actually starting to undercut the asphalt, which is going to cause the asphalt to start falling away in the edges, which becomes a big problem as well. So, yeah, this is definitely a kind of maintenance issue. 23 grand.
Well, the price of it was pretty inexpensive. I mean, compared to other things, the price of the actual compact was pretty inexpensive, but yeah, I don't think.
One thing I'd like to see if they're going to bring asphalt in and be doing any asphalt work is the shelter as closest to the pump track on basically the backside of the skate park there. Make it a 2 or 3 foot wide connecting path and tie it back in so that because right now all the way around the pump track and all the way get through there on the track there's wet sloppy grass and mud and the track people tracking mud and stuff like that. It needs to have some kind of a connector there.
And for two, the skate park. So we actually talked about doing a connector between the skate park and the track too. So we made a wish list in addition in case, because the advice from the grant writer was to ask for more than 23,000, and that we should make a little wish list of things we want. So we added that, like we want a path to go so that people aren't bringing mud onto the pump track or the skate park.
Skate park, good. Yeah, that's I noticed that a while back that there was a huge amount of mud.
So you're saying you would put a compacted line on the outside of the pump track?
Just what's inside the hole, like
In those in the pockets where you can't get
Is the
into.
outside?
so the outside is gonna build up, so it's not.
Oh, it's just gonna build up.
It's gonna build
Okay,
up, so it's
okay.
gonna bring in.
So all of it will be where the blacktop is, you shouldn't have as much erosion.
It should still taper away from the center, but it would be nowhere near as steep.
What two grants? You said 2 Hillenbrand grants?
Yeah, well, last time we wrote to, what was the John Hillenbrand and the William Martin grant. That's for the first time we did it. When we actually. Yeah, I think though.
That's what I thought they were always doing earlier.
They're 4 times a year. They go
Okay,
for
thank
a
you.
year.
Lee, Megan, John. For a while.
Yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. If we don't stop, if we don't do some maintenance to it now, it's going to get. This is the old, pay me now or pay me later. It's going to be way more expensive later.
Yeah, the skate park's been great, the pump track has been.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have some work.
Okay. Any other questions for Amy? Thanks.
No,
Thanks for coming in.
I'm glad we're going to fix
You
the
can
hole, 'cause
describe all that.
the,
I appreciate it.
under the handlebars.
Okay.
It's getting deeper, it's probably not that deep. It's swallowing.
I guess since day one, it just keeps eroding. And if you don't get grass to stop eroding underneath,
Yeah. Well, the hole's actually like up in one of the bowl sections on the side of it.
doesn't sound like you're too impressed.
No, I'm not. No, I'm starting to become less and less impressed with it the more it wears in. So, sorry to say that.
Okay,
All right.
next up, 129 trail update.
You want
Sure.
to cover it? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll cover it.
Sure.
You want to sit up here and see?
Speak loud. No,
I,
sure.
Yep.
I'm totally making fun of John.
I talked with, actually I talked with Brad Judy, the owner of the business, probably a week ago. And, he told me the same thing that Gerald Baker, who works for him, been telling me, that the light, the ballasts are taking, yeah,
The bulbs, yeah.
bollards have, LED lights on them, some of them do, and there's a backward one, just for light, unfortunately. And, I actually emailed Gerald again today because he told me last week that, and he told me Gerald's been contacting the supplier every week. Gerald did acknowledge that he said the last time he reached out to them was August 19th, and they had not responded yet. So my comment to him was, is there another supplier? To which I got what I was expecting to hear. There are other suppliers, but these are a special order. It's a 15 week lag time, lead time. He did say, he did try to call him after I talked with him today. And he said, I don't know why the person here couldn't answer my question or find somebody else to do it, but she said the guy that can answer that wasn't there today. But he's gonna call him tomorrow because they're supposed to take a week. Nevertheless, they're back. They told him we would have them in July. And they contacted them in July and they said they were still back ordered. So we're waiting on those basically.
So
That's why we have barrels out there. We have barrel, I think, I talked to somebody today and he mentioned that Dr. Gray Spirit brought up that question too. And I said, tell Dr. Gray Spirit the reason those barrels are there is because people are driving from his office to the rehab facility on the trail.
yeah. So this falls into my area because I bought a ballard sign hundreds of years ago, factory purchase. So, I got question number one. Why LED? Why and how solar powered or what?
They're solar powered.
So they all eventually become non-solar powered because solar power is going to clear their cycle. So it's most of the technology.
I'm not aware of the technology.
So 99% of every bike path I've been on from Boston to LA uses nothing more than a 4-inch piece of cold steel or drawn steel slipped into a pocket in the ground, just soft drop off. So you just drop it in there with boxes. They make them pre-welded with double top bottom solutions so they compete with under about $78 a piece.
Some of these I know will be collapsible.
Yeah, the collapsible ones are really
Some
great,
are,
and you see those used in areas where the trail is boxed in on either side by either shrubbery, fencing, or some way that limits egress for emergency vehicles to get on the trail. In our case, where we're at is wide open on either side, and law enforcement, EMS, whatever, can easily drive around the ball, clear grass, get to wherever they need to go. So the idea of spending an elaborate amount of money on anything for this, other than a solid pole in the ground, makes absolutely zero
So
sense.
it's probably all in the project.
yeah, I hate to say it, but it's one of those things, to Mike's point, it was granted to me.
And it
Spend it,
has
spend all of
spec
it.
attached.
Yes.
It's a government spec list.
So I didn't know when you mentioned, so, we had donated bid from Paul, so, right, we put that on, we were gonna buy ahead, so that's one, but then the project is going to buy two more. Right. Have they bought them? I guess, it would be nice if we had all, so I mean,
They've got that, they've got the water.
yeah, that's another, what is the water feature? Is it actually like a fountain we're gonna have to winterize every year?
I talked to,
It's.
yeah, it's got, it's got the all water feature, the bottle filler feature, every fountain feature. It's gonna sit up there for the, typical.
That's what I figured. I think that's what she had.
Yeah.
Probably a line.
Let's take care of that. Cause they're gonna have to flush that. Because it's but everything else, Judy's got, it's just those. So hopefully tomorrow they'll say, yeah, they're good.
Can I,
The way it's gonna go on.
but is there a way, I mean, the barrels look pretty tacky. I mean, like the street department, like, I mean, cones aren't very tall, but they have these ones. Even if we would put like, some of their, it would look better than a barrel. It would look a lot neater than a barrel. It almost looked like, I don't know.
I'll take that under advisement, but I'll wait till I hear from.
But I don't know whose barrels are, but it would look, yeah, it would look better if we had at least better.
They probably have it on the sheet.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Because actually there were people driving on the thing.
And they were driving on Solution Trails when we first put it in. We haven't had anybody driving on it since. They do, and it's, it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
They're not talking.
I
To
agree.
make sure we spend the money. I mean, John Coons is looking at it, he said, what else we can do out there? And we're down to about $12,000 out of what we had. And so we're gonna paint crosswalks in one of them. Then the engineer wanted us to say, well, we better go back to NDOT because that's a change order. And John, he said, just don't tell NDOT. He said, ask for forgiveness later. And I said, it's not even in their right of way. And they said, well, we don't typically paint crosswalks across private driveways. But again, somebody say, well, I'm turning in there, there's right of way here, the biker pedestrian, so we're gonna paint crosswalks there, so. I don't understand what people don't get about a walking trail or a bike trail, that there aren't gonna be people, that they have special identification.
Just an FYI, Andrea says she's watching the live stream and she can't hear anybody really
Okay,
talking.
that's probably a good thing.
Just so you know.
But anyway, to your point, if he tells us tomorrow or the end of the week that they're still back ordered and they're not giving me any dates, I think that you're talking about the straight up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It would look a lot better than
We could,
instead of going.
I'll take that under advisement, like I say, he said he'd call me back tomorrow, so. That's really all I know.
Yeah, I mean, and if you happen to have two spare ones in each of the winners, yeah, I've encountered golf carts twice now. Well, we did. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mike. You do have. You're right. You do have.
I'm on that thing.
I retract the statement. Yes. I forgot. I do it too.
Yeah.
And you know what the golf carts will do? They'll go in your grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take the statement back.
Okay.
Shoot. So,
Any other questions, discussion on 129 trail? 129 trail update? Okay, so next we had Brunswoods Trail 5 potential projects.
So I'll pass this around if you guys.
She said she
I
could
ran
read
out
it.
of
Was
ink
just
at home. I only got one good copy out because Um, somebody's printed a bunch of stuff for some grief fest this weekend.
She sent me an email and said, "Go send you an email. You
Yeah.
can print it
I'm
yourself."
looking at you, John, you're there. So basically, visualize, if you will, the old trestle ramp there next to Mulberry, where the trestle ramp was. The Trail 5 actually cuts up and over from the corner entrance at Mulberry. The trail goes in and cuts up over. Farther up on that old trestle ramp, the idea would be to carve in the weeds there and drop down off that hillside using that as a start hill to create what's called fun tracks. They're highly popular in a lot of mountain bike areas now. Brown County has 2 of them at their trails. And basically all it is kind of a different way of doing the trail in that you bring in the dirt instead of using the natural lay of the land and add some feature to it. You don't take out any trees or disrupt anything, but basically create a flowing loop of bank turns and rolling bumps through it. And the idea would be to come in alongside the railroad track, you go just past the old trestle and poke in there and with minimal invasiveness haul dirt back in there and create it and take a section from the trestle drop in all the way back to about on Trail 5 where the sewer pipe comes out from under the cemetery, from where the storm sewers ran, and then tie it back into Trail 5 so that it creates a loop so that you can ride back on Trail 5, come back and start it again. It's a one-way style trail that is basically like a roller coaster. It's about, you make it about 4 to 5 foot wide of dirt. Use clay dirt to mix it and get a lot of weeds. The water rolls off of it, and you shape it. So the whole thing is basically elevated, even in some spots. It's 4 to 6 inches off the base level of the trail, so the water runs off of it and it doesn't collect water, which we fight. Every trail maintenance day we're fighting erosion issues. This kind of creates its own watershed, if you will, but creates a nice flow line. And the closest place you could go to do that right now would be over in Brown County or over on the other side of Cincinnati. So the benefit to it wouldn't be a whole lot of money other than buy dirt and rent seat time on a little skid steer for a little bit and move some dirt around in there, clean it up with a weed eater. But it would certainly bring people to town.
Where's this at between the trail and Bischoff's?
No,
The little river,
so
she's
So-
over here.
this is the old trestle ramp here. So just run right alongside the trail. Be easy to get to. And we don't have any trail in that area right now. It sits pretty high and dry through there the way it is. It would take minimal to do, but it would certainly be a feature that we could add with what we've got here with Batesville. And certainly bring more people to town. Usually people that ride these kind of things like stick around, go to a beer, go have a beer, go have coffee. It's definitely got its benefits doing it, and for a minimal cost. Maintenance and upkeep on them, no more than the rest of the trails. We're only talking about adding maybe 150 yards of trail. So, the weed eating stuff with the clay pack down the way it is, it wouldn't take much to maintain. Packing it in initially and getting it all packed down. But we've already got a group, the guys, the group of us that help maintain brunch now, this would easily fall in with us. You already have people dedicated.
You know what they say about maintenance free?
That's all I ever hear.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yep, everything's maintenance free.
John, you already seen it?
We're always out there weeding.
So, I'm gonna leave it and let somebody make copies for everybody. I tried to send out the electronic version of it, and it hit the firewall, it wouldn't do it. Okay.
Is there anybody around that we know that, like, the clay dirt, like, that might be willing to
buy
donate
that from like
some?
Licens Excavating or Likens or, any of the excavating companies here in town.
Is there still a pile of clay out at the jail building? There used to be a huge
wondering,
like,
like somebody that has
I don't,
done some type of
I don't
work,
know.
There
If
might,
I mean, if we could get it donated,
like some of it
Or are
donated
they
at
cutting
least.
the road in out there or anything?
yeah, they
Or,
were, yeah, we,
that may be,
And
we
then you said
just
you
missed
needed
the
a,
project.
whatever type of,
well,
I think
Cleanworks
if
does
it was
something.
out there, they
yeah,
would
but
I mean,
whatever
household, they
machine
don't
you
wanna get rid of
need,
it.
The little skid steer.
If they dig
Like,
deep enough to get
you know,
that
like
I
plate
can-
up.
Gilman's
There
or
used to
somebody
be
that
a
might,
Yeah.
whatever, that they might
plant.
donate, and so that the cost of this could
So
be
when we started
very
the pump
minimal.
track,
Mhm.
Gilman's donated a week of use of a skid steer, and I operated it when we had Ben Pearson, Luke Pearson donated a dump truck on dirt and we dirt on course. The quarry donated the dirt, Pearson moved it, and then I shaped it out, and we got pretty far along on it and decided that we were gonna go with asphalt instead of dirt. And so that project got stopped at that point. But it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of reminiscent of a pump track, but in dirt, and it stays in trees and yeah, they're highly popular right now, and it would certainly make for a good commercial piece for Batesville to have to draw people to town. And we've already got the pump track. I mean, you could start marketing Batesville as county September. We're gonna bouldering wall, you got skate park, pump track, you got nature trails, hiking trails, mountain bike trails, paved cycling trails, pickleball courts. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I've come across 3 different couples. Well, because when I'm riding in dogs, I always say other people. 2 from Greensburg, and some a while back, some people from Shelbyville. And they come here weekly. The hike runs loose because Greensburg has nothing like this. They're citizens from other towns that come here
Yeah.
to use our stuff because their town doesn't have anything even close to it.
I met somebody from Harrison one time.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison has
That's
a
a
nice
big deal.
Harrison Park, and it's that big 8-mile pave, but they like, you know, they like the trails and that they're not
I don't
so
wanna,
crazy, and there's a bunch
I don't
of,
wanna hold things up, but I, kinda like you, Gary, I talk to people, I'm out, and this is kind of a kudos to the park, but it's actually, believe it or not, it's not our pool equipment. Since Mayor again, this is Joy Leggett. It was such a pleasure meeting you yesterday. Our children had a wonderful time playing at Liberty Park every time we visit, particularly in the old classic equipment that's the same as we used to play on. Turns out this Julie is 40 years old and she grew up in the area. She lived down by St. Pius, but she went to OA. And she said they just don't make metal monkey bars, merry-go-rounds, and teetering equipment quite like they used to. The old stuff here is much better than the new equipment we have at our parks. They live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Her and her husband are both lieutenant colonels in the Army. I hope you can. I said everybody always wants new stuff. She's like, I hope you can continue to resist pressure to replace the classical equipment that all seems to still be in such great shape. Julie Leggett. Her maiden name was McIntyre. But anyway,
Yeah.
she is.
Mhm.
I
Huge.
Yeah, don't call it old equipment, call it classic.
Classic. It is a classic.
Old classic.
Old
We're just taking the old out.
classic.
Yeah.
I mean, every time if I'm walking over by the skate park and things, I always look at license plates, you know. A lot of times it's Ohio, I mean, you know, you see Ohio, but once in a while you'll see like Kentucky or whatever, so it's kind of cool, you know, to see that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like,
So, I mean, I think that is minimal, and I like how it's connecting too, and it's not really, anything.
It's easily accessible. It's right at the front end of the trail. You can actually access it through the grass if you're not able to go on the trail. And a lot of the people that ride those kind of things are the same bikers that would ride the pump track anyways, or ride the trails. So the more variations of that you start building here, the more people that travel town. And so I said, for minimal input, the return on it's pretty huge.
I guess I'll go for 6 cents.
wondering if we wanted to talk about maybe continue to pursue that. I mean, does anybody have any more discussion? Like,
Do you want to
make
do we
a
want
motion
all the other
to-
trash through there? Because a lot of it has been volunteer.
Right. Well,
Labor.
let me offer this. Between now and the next board meeting, anybody that wants to go out and walk it with me, I'll happily go walk it with them. We can talk it through. Do your own research on what flow tracks are, and we'll have this published out for everybody. Do your own research on what that's for you economically, the town, and we can vote on whether or not to implement this next meeting. That fair?
Well, let's try. If you wanna go in and have me go in there and mark it or whatever, I can bush all it.
Yeah. It's so thin a brush in there, you could walk it with me.
That's perfect. And you're.
It did, and that's why it's so thin.
I remember I was walking out there and one of the stranger kids was out there. Some other kid said, was like, George was out there. George and Pam are into out the cemetery there. Fire back. It was more in the ditch there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that sounds good. We'll table that and
Table.
so you can bring it
for vote next
for
meeting.
next. Yep, sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. Do we have any citizen concerns?
This is not really a citizen's concern, but on the contract with the Bucks folks. You all saw that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
Oh, the new, yeah.
There really isn't anything that changed on it except Liberty Field has changed to Ace Morgan Field,
Mhm.
Director of Operations to Building Commissioner, and the dates. I mean,
There was some.
there was one, with the exception of the small area on the far west end, that's that old lake garage when we got our new maintenance building, we turned over that back forward to the basement, so that was all,
Has that arrangement been working well? I mean, it's been that way for several years, so.
yeah, it had, say, when they have tournaments, it's nice that they have a field, there's lights. I'm not sure about how it's working at the high school, I assume, okay, you know, with OA and high school, yeah, I think it's working good. I haven't had any complaints or anything, so
I think it's good for them to have more ownership instead of just coming to you complaining like, hey, we need to do this before this tournament.
no, so, I mean, obviously, it has, I think it's been worked out really well. I mean, I know they weren't, it was kind of, it's not good that baseball doesn't have two home field, but only building one at the high school, you know, they still had one high school, or, you know, one baseball team right there. You know, the freshmen and JVs, it was nice, baseball team got all together. Yeah, I mean, we may be someday.
They're not on the field anymore. Is there any zone?
And I know they've had tournaments up there, you know, when they have tournaments, they use it. So it's worked out good. And like I said, Brandon is the one that's approaching because the board's gonna change, so they wanna be kind of done, so. Is he going? Is he going? Yeah, he's all. I think. They want to get done. That's why I kind of.
All right, Mike.
Alright, start, trying, Berlin Woods, we were talking about Berlin Woods Lane, I've been speaking, HCA, been doing a lot of work to it, a lot of the roads is gonna be resealed. One problem is, it's being used so much that we're really hurting for parking bad. It's always full, people are parking in the grass. We're kind of thinking about approaching Shaley Orthodontics, but I don't know what happened there. She gates it, so there is a right of way there. I have our engineer, John Coons, kind of maybe possibly seeing if there's a way that we could put some parking directly across from the parking lot. You know, then they can walk to the curb and walk to the corner and get over. So that's actually getting to where I was hoping more people would
what would prevent across, 229 there on the corner of the entrance to Brums and Trail Friday's right here? I'll, maybe put some spots in, another little rock right there. All right. Straight across 229.
Like right along 229, right
On-
across from it.
Heading south on 229, but on the right side. Like you say, Mulberry.
The state.
They want
We tried it. No, they do not want, that, state said that. No, yeah, we thought about that years ago. That's- No, the state will not allow that. That's why, there's not a crosswalk across 229 where it would make more sense. It's sitting down on that because of the state. But, so hopefully, maybe someday we can look into more park because it is, and we're out of room. I mean, the trail's too close, we just can't add. We added one years ago, but we're really tight on the park. We had 2 part-timers this year. One is back to work. She's a cafeteria. They worked out pretty good this year. You get tired of here. We do need more help as always, but the part-timers did work out good. We did add 2 new pieces of playground equipment. It was donated from Mark, Pat. It was donated from Pat, and in fact, I had it over a year. Just didn't have time to install it. 2 little spring toys to go with the other classic equipment in the rock playground. So that was good. So like I said, the trail will be sealed. We went around and patched some places. I've been pressure washing it the last week. It's been like moss trying to get that off because the cleaner it is better. So I'm hoping every year now we can get another section of trail sealed because we need to maintain it. And so we're starting with that, and then probably in 2 or 3 years we'll be able to put another coat of blacktop on because that was just a bad trail. It's held up like awesome over the years for how bad it was. I mean, there's some blacktop in there that day, some it's bad, but I think the sealing will get us through another 3 years. So I've gotten a lot of people to donate benches and picnic tables over the year. Eureka Band plays at the gazebo on Fridays in July. So we have 4 picnic tables at the gazebo. We used to carry them out. They would get their chairs, but then on Saturday morning, the gazebo was reserved. So we only have one little summer help in there, and you can't get picnic tables up there by yourself. So we would leave the picnic tables. They would move them down, bring a rack of chairs from the pavilion kitchen, set them up, play, take the rack of chairs back, carry them up. They're all getting old and they're tired of not the picnic tables, the players. They're getting tired. They're just to where they can't really do it anymore. So I got a whole, picnic tables, benches at our high school. I think I started like a month and a half ago. So I did order 12, and I had nine of them donated for $320, and I put some on Facebook for the other 3, and supposedly there's 3 more checks coming, so they'll all be donated. And these will be really nice because they'll be a picnic table. When the Eureka Band plays, it's just a little clip, you fold it back to benches, so it'll be perfect for them. No more moving anything around. So that'll be a good addition, good improvement to the gazebo. That's what I'll have. You give me a moment before something, questions or anything. Like I said, right now we've been working a lot on windows, trying to get that ready to seal coat.
Are you pleased with how the wildflower area is? Or what do you think about that? What are your
I'm not a
thoughts?
flower guy.
Yeah.
I did, I was, we went in, we sprayed it, weed sprayed it with, not weed sprayed it's gonna kill everything. Or, like, not a pre-emergence, weed sprayed it. I tilled it, I went back in and tilled it again, seeded it. And a lot of grass came up, but I mean, I don't know how to, I did what Matt told me to do. We've had a lot of compliments on it, actually. And there's a lot of grass in it, but whatever, looking pretty good. And I think next year, maybe add a little bit every year. Even like next year, I thought we could put some sunflowers in. So we'll see. I mean, the flowers are supposed to be coming up at different times of the year. So next year, who knows? And I'll get with Matt again and just keep working on it. I think for the first year, I'm happy with it. Yeah, I mean, I never really seeded wildflowers, but I think it's Yeah, I think it'll take time. As the flowers,
But the idea is right. and
yeah,
it's
as the
moving
flowers,
Yeah.
you know, get
Right.
back, you know, it's gonna get rid of a lot of the grass.
Mhm.
Like I said, we'll get some sunflowers in next year. I think I mean, we don't have to mow it, so
Mhm.
save us a little bit of money. So,
Right. And personally, I think it's the placement of it was good because it doesn't hinder your vision.
yeah,
Like when you come around 229 there, and if you're going to go straight, you can still see if a car's coming. I think that was the biggest issue of where the fencing and there was flowers in the fencing because some of that was going up too high and it hindered your vision if you were going to go straight into the
yeah,
tunnel.
there is a spot, I wanted to do more, but we didn't have really enough seed, I wanted to get, so there is one spot that I didn't do, but we may do that next year.
Mhm.
You know, all that, yeah, I mean, we even made Aaron Garrett's bring him up to our morning run one day. And he was saying for the park, so if you make Aaron Garrett's, you know, Facebook run in the morning, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
And I did those.
He stopped snow road.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are something that
I mean, I'm hoping more come up as the season goes on, but I don't think it was like, it was a great year for it. Rained a lot. I think that's all I have.
Give a 60-second update on the dirt side of the rooms. Mike managed to get us another big truckload of road drainage put in there. So next we're using as needed. We've got plenty on hand now. Patch wet spots on trail 2. Keep that won't keep that open all the time. Had Scout Troop 634 in there a few weeks ago. They knocked out more work in about four hours than most like adult crews do. It was beyond impressive what those kids did in Troop 634. For that. So we fixed a huge amount of drainage to the south. So good on those guys. The trail signs got trail crossing signs on Hunterville got cleaned. We trimmed back the trees on both sides so they're visible from the road again. Weed eating work's been done. The trails are clean and probably as good a shape as they've been in several years. Everybody's been pitching to really good.
All right. Pool supervisor. Would you like to give a report?
So our year started out very rainy.
We don't care about the weather.
So we liked the rain first flowers. We did like the rain for the pool. So I'm pretty sure that our attendance is, for YUPSs are down. We usually get 250 to 300 or so. We just didn't even make 200, so.
Can you move the mic towards you?
So, I have a feeling and told us too that our, the front desk is gonna be, or it's gonna be lower, like concessions, we did up some prices.
Did you have some weekday parties this year or something in the evenings?
Yes, I did take, to help income, I did, well, football, the youth football comes every year at the end of their little,
Like summer camp.
yeah, they,
What are you hitting me for?
so, so they always come in, but we did Greensburg Library for their reading club. I booked them through the week just because I say, tried to save the weekends for families, so they had come, I did this year, and the youth baseball team asked if they could have an ID party, so we booked them through the week too.
I just noticed that we did a couple nights. And then, did the middle school use it again?
Yeah, so, we had calling cards again, college students, so we did, actually, so the middle school always comes first week Friday, our first week back to school for the PE. And then the next week, Monday, Tuesday, the intermediate school comes for PE. This year, St. Louis asked if they could come down, so take, kids and people.
And now with the last couple of weekends here coming up, with most of the college kids, you still fun with workers, right?
So
We used to.
yeah, so Wednesday after St. Louis, so Thursday, Friday, those days they all packed up and headed to college.
You'll
So
still be fine
I
with
do,
the weekends.
I have 8 high school kids, so, and we can kind of get by with 5 if stuff comes up, because Saturdays now there's volleyball, there's cross country, there's soccer, but I'm a little, I'm still at, with staff, yes. And, the new filter system has been working really well, so that's good. Cause I finally got to put in 5 at the time of year.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It's, yeah, we paid, so that was good. Yeah. Mhm.
More questions? I'm sure we'll get our final in November. He'll have everything. We'll be able to look at everything. Yep. Okay, so our next meeting is scheduled for November 19th. Wednesday, November 19th. At 6:30. Motion to get out of here.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second. Okay.